What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Thursday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, and Hudco Roofing, hudcoroofing.com. Hope you are having a wonderful start to your day. Let's see. I only got about 15 minutes here this morning. My apologies that we're getting started just a smidge late. And I got to get Drew up and get him to school and all that stuff. So, maybe about 20 minutes. Maybe we go to 8 o'clock. But anyway, let's get blowing and going. You can see I have there in the headline. Great nightcap last night. Thanks as always to everyone who showed up for nightcap. Appreciate that greatly. It's a fun time. It's a good way to spend some time at the middle of the week and have a pour and chat with everybody. And morning scone, we have a coffee and chat with everybody. And a mug with a Christmas tree on it. Or is it just a tree? I don't know if it's a tree or a Christmas tree. Anyway. All right, got it there in the description. Cordell Flott, he is headed to the NFL. That according to 247 Sports. They were the first to report it anyway, that he's headed to the NFL. Not really a giant surprise. During the season, this was something we kind of started to talk about, right? That Cordell Flott was a guy who was kind of maligned, right? He kind of got picked on early in his career because he was the other guy on the field with Stingley and Ricks, and 2019 with Christian Fulton out there, but this year, he really took that monumental type leap. And then Stingley got hurt, and Ricks missed the rest of the season, and Flott, McLaughlin stepped up to a huge role, and Flott ended up having to play some outside corner. But when he was playing nickel for the first half of the season, Pro Football Focus had him rated as the highest rated nickel back in the country. And we talked about Flott probably having a decision to make. And it looks like he's made it to go pro, so that's going to leave LSU secondary even more depleted. Dwight McLaughlin, we're all assuming, is going to be back for his junior season next year. He'll be one of your lockdown corners. Big question is who's the other guy? Especially if you keep Jay Ward at safety. That's a prime spot where you can go look in the transfer portal. Hang on one second. Okay. Sorry about that. Had a little kink in the backpack there. Drew's back. He's still sleeping. But anyway, so excuse me. So so for Cordell Flott, he had a decision to make. So for LSU, it looks like next year that's a prime spot for a possible transfer. Brian Kelly's addressing everything in the portal and needs to. So if you can get a guy who's got starting cornerback experience, come in and be a one-year guy that can play opposite McLaughlin, you do it. I don't know that you move Jay Ward back to corner. You can. Sage Ryan certainly played a lot of nickel this year, so you kind of need that other outside corner. Is there someone on the roster you feel really good about? Radarius Jones, maybe? I don't know. Or do you go address that in the portal? The other headline we got there is Austin Thomas won't return. If you've listened to this show, we've talked about Austin a good bit. ever since he returned, he came back to LSU because he was Scott Woodward's guy. So the fact that Austin's not going to be back tells you Scott Woodward is giving Brian Kelly complete autonomy to run his program, to hire his staff, to fill out roles how he sees fit, and I'm okay with that. I mean, it's you're paying him $100 million for a reason, so you got to let him have the autonomy to do that sort of stuff. Now, who's in that role? I wish I had a name, and I've been told apparently Brian Kelly is bringing in someone, and I cannot remember her name, but in that role or similar to that role. I don't know if the title will be GM, but it's similar to that role. And so I was told that several weeks ago, and apparently that kind of created some uncertainty around Austin, if he'd be back. If he was, would he be in a different role? And so I don't have the whole story yet as to why, and I'm sure Austin will I mean, Austin's friendly enough with enough of the media here. We'll find out, but he had glowing things to say in his post saying he won't be back. Some have asked, could he be back in another role? Look, Scott Woodward, thinks the world of him, and I would say that's certainly possible, maybe in the athletic administration side, instead of maybe specifically in football. But I don't know if that's what Austin wants to do. So, okay, let's say some good mornings here, y'all. Todd Harris, Jerry DeLucky, Brian Wynn. Brian forwarded your email. You will hear from someone today. And if not, you will hear from me later today to follow up. Brandon Miller, Ross Giat, good morning. Cameron Hunt, let's get some game coin. Let's get some game coin love last night. Thank you, Cam. Appreciate that. Kelly Gross, Brandon Miller, big game tonight. LSU against South Carolina, #1 Gamecocks, Dawn Staley squad. Coming into the Maravich Center, Kim Mulkey hit the 13th ranked Lady Tigers. And South Carolina's a little shorthanded, man. They got hit by the COVIDs, so a little shorthanded. Got a good shot tonight. Jeff McKithen, good morning from Orlando, in line for the Velocicoaster. Sounds like something I would not participate in, Jeff, but I wish you and yours all the best, man. Jason Austin, what's up? Jamie Hodges. Jerry Nightcap is a Hump Day staple. Thank you, bro. Jason Austin, are you going to the game tonight, Matt? Jason, I intend to. Erica is not so keen on it. Just a lot going on with first week back to school. So if I go, I'd go solo. So I don't know. Stephen Smith, good morning. Jonathan Martin, Charlie Cavell, Tim Forche. Hey, Dad, good morning. Caleb Bernard. Stephen Smith, Brian Kelly said the other night at the game, he's looking heavily at the transfer portal to build a team. Ideally wants to build through recruitments. So, Stephen, we talked about that a lot yesterday on AFR. We kind of went through Brian Kelly's interview, and of course he's going to look through the portal. I mean, I would recommend go. Here, I'll post it. Let's see, where is it? Boom. I'm going to post the link here so y'all can check it out if you're interested. This is the segment we did yesterday on AFR, kind of going through the interview Brian Kelly did, and the reason why we did is because look, Kelly just hasn't spoken much since he's been hired. He he did his introductory press conference. There have been some press releases, when he's announced staff hires, etc. But he hasn't spoken much. So when he did an interview like that, we were going to go through it, and we did talk about the transfers. Look, I ran through the list of all the transfers that I've personally seen get offers from LSU, and it's a whole bunch. Receivers, I mean, there's dudes from East Carolina and Wyoming and UTEP and Hawaii, I mean, all over the place. So. And there's going to be more because he knows he's got roster spots to fill and scholarships to give out, and yeah, he's going to do it through the portal this year. Stephen Fry, Bill Galley, and Brian Broom, Matt Godwin, good morning. Jump over here to YouTube. Make sure to give y'all some love as we start. Hunter Fournette, I was like 3/4 of the way through Nightcap, and then you went live. Well, thanks for hanging out, Hunter. I appreciate that. Pat Huseman, good morning. Brady Smith, did Dale Brown remember correctly when he said that you went up to John Wooden Smith? No. Okay, I didn't go speak to John Wooden. Dale was just filling in the blank of a name. Like, because saying the guy went and came up and said hello to John Wooden. And so he said, oh, my name is, and he just used my name just as a fill in the blank. But no, that was not me. Just another Josh. Flott's going to flop in the draft. I completely disagree with you, Josh. When you're talking about a guy, that's that long, that athletic, especially with longer, bigger-bodied receivers, he is the prototypical corner in 2022. I completely disagree with you. I think he's going to do. He took a massive step forward this year, and he is going to be just fine. Right. Someone's in there with the Hudco logo. I do not know if that's legitimately someone with Hudco or if that's a fake account. Brandon, what's up? Joseph Armato, what's up? Gregory Carter, what's up? Brandon Ryder. Matt, since baseball's around the corner, what are realistic expectations for the season in the West and tournaments, etc.? Your opinion here from your baseball contacts. Yeah, Brandon, everyone sort of unanimously understands this team is going to hit the crap out of the baseball. McManus, the catcher from South Alabama, they expect him to be a 12 to 15 homer guy. Jobert, the transfer in from Delgado, they expect him to be a double-digit homer guy starting in right field. You know about Cruz and Berry, Dugas, who had 19 last year, 18 or 19. They're going to hit the crap out of the baseball this year. They have a lot of arms. They need to figure out rotation, roles for that pitching staff, and that's going to be the key. What are the roles in the pitching staff? But they got a lot, man. Jesse Brown, how healthy will the Saints offensive line be for the Falcons game? Well, Jesse, good news is that Ramczyk did practice yesterday. It was limited, but he did practice, so might see Ramczyk back this week. Bad news is still no Armstead, and I would expect McCoy's back this week also. So, if it's maybe the left side would still be Hurst, Throckmorton, but then if you had McCoy, Ruiz, Ramczyk, I'd feel much better about it. Brady Smith, you probably don't need a program GM if the coach isn't an idiot. Well, I understand, Brady, but remember, Austin Thomas also had that role under Les Miles. And, well, spare me that. But Austin is pretty brilliant as far as organizing the recruiting board and organizing recruiting events and roster management. He's great at that. Like, he is an asset. So, let's see. Bailey C., my dad graduated from Brother Martin, also class of 89. All right, there you go, man. How about that? Got some Crusaders in here. Dane Bergeron, what's good? Ryan Rogers, good morning. Spurge, quite a bit of chatter about Rogers, whether the COVID scam should affect how people consider him for MVP. So Spurge, I don't know if there's quite a bit of chatter about it. There was one guy who's like a Bears reporter who called him the biggest jerk, blah, 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 and so he wouldn't vote for him because a bad guy shouldn't win the MVP. I think that guy should have his vote rescinded. You're not voting for the best guy on the field. You're voting for the best football player. And it's why all awards, unfortunately, need to be taken with a grain of salt because the dopes that vote for him most of the time are not qualified to vote for him. Nightcap was good, a bit too calm. Hope you got a good night's sleep. You got it. We'll crank it up next week. Wendell Norman, what's up? Matthew W. So I can understand bringing in your own staff, but is there any chance it's getting a little too incestuous? No, because look at the guys that he's hired. Some he's familiar with, but Brian Kelly didn't have a relationship with Frank Wilson. He didn't have a relationship with Joe Sloan. Didn't have a relationship with Jamar Cain, the new defensive line coach. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of guys bringing in where he didn't have that previous relationship. So I don't think so, no. Any word on why Jack didn't play in the bowl game? So apparently he was getting over COVID, or he was coming out of the COVID protocol, didn't practice much, so they didn't want to play him. Rapping batches, Jeremiah Hardell, Todd Ohms, Ryan Rogers. Can I listen to AFR on a podcast? Absolutely, Ryan. So if you go to however you get your podcasts, iTunes, whatever, just search 1045 ESPN, and all of our shows are uploaded there hour by hour as podcasts. So so you can listen to AFR via podcast there. Or our website, 1045ESPN.com. Come on, let's smash the like button. Yeah, thank you so much. 67 watching, 32 likes. We can get that up. That would be awesome. I know we're a little short today on time, and my apologies for that. I got to get going here in a minute. As always, shout out to Brock, y'all, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. New year, new job, or a new career. Brock is hiring. brortho.com, brortho.com. Of course, hudcoroofing.com. We had a, not surprisingly, first week of the year, we've had a gigantic spike this week in our web traffic and our phone calls, everything. It's just gone way, way up. So you just expect that, right? The holidays are behind people. They're looking at things. So if you need that roof inspection, maybe you still got a blue tarp from Ida, or damage from Ida, or you're getting the runaround from the insurance company, or maybe you're on another roofing company's schedule, but they can't get to you for a month or 2 months, or they've been telling you for months. Give us a shout. 364-1007, 364-1007, or hudcoroofing.com. Do business with someone you know, hudcoroofing.com. Wrap-in batches, who you got in the women's game tonight? I mean, I have to go South Carolina until LSU proves they can win that game. But there's still... wouldn't stun me if they win, especially with Carolina down a few people. Okay, y'all. Let's see. Cade Galt, good morning. Brad Crowder, curious, has a position been created to spearhead NIL deals? So LSU can't do that, Brad. It's an important distinction. Like, you can't have somebody in-house manage that. You've got to have it externally done. So, like, a booster or a group has to be the ones that would organize that. It can't be done in-house at LSU. Craig Duga, we wouldn't have had all the transfers had they let O rebuild the team. Nicely done. Cameron Hunt, other than the Georgia wide receiver coach, who else are you hearing for Kelly's last hire? Nobody. I think that's it. I think it's Cortez Hankton. Matt, what's worse, O apologist or Ragged Branch National Championship Edition bourbon? It's a push. So a guy who signs a six-figure NIL deal still gets to go to school on a full scholarship. If that's the case, student, athlete getting paid twice for the same job. No, they're not, actually. That's no different than a student on scholarship getting a job. I don't understand the problem that people have with that. Like, and I have some people like, well, if they leave, they should repay their scholarship. It's taxpayer dollars. First of all, no, it's not. LSU Athletics is funded through athletics revenue and donor money. State money isn't paying for LSU football players to be at LSU on scholarship. That's one. Two, how about your kid that went on tops and flunked out after a semester? That actually was taxpayer dollars. Should your kid who flunked out after a semester have to repay their scholarship? Y'all all twisted, bro. Fans get all up in their feelings over this stuff. Hey, there you go, Brandon. You want to get me fired up? Ask me about that next week on Nightcap. Dale Broussard, what's up? Shelby Kelly, Bruce Parker, Craig Duga, Mulkymania running wild tonight, brothers. If Sean Payton wins this weekend, does he get Coach of the Year? I'm going to say no, but he should. John Bro, Steve Blanchard, Matt, I love Brady as the color guy, but after the last 20 seconds, you have to add him the shut-up color guy. I couldn't do it. I needed to, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't. I love Brady too much. I couldn't do it. Let's see. Mikkel Thacker, Matt, Joe Fauché from Arkansas under the portal. Yeah, man. Catalan did as well. That's a couple guys from here. By the way, mentioned that on Around the SEC yesterday. So I support a listen Around the SEC. Could they land here? Sure. Absolutely. I don't think LSU really needs a safety, but and they seem set there, especially Major Burns coming back. They have depth there. Cornerback though, they need help. Okay, I gotta go. It's 8:00. I gotta go. All right, y'all have an awesome day. Peace. Brock, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. You need an orthopedist, you go to Brock, and they're hiring. Hudco Roofing. Remember, we now do soft wash as well. Partner with Bayou State Soft Wash, a veteran-owned business. Tommy Nelson, great dude. We hired him last summer to clean our home. Can soft wash your roof or anything under the roof, even your hardscape outside. Give us a shot at Hudco. We can soft wash your home now as well. Okay, y'all have an awesome day. Peace.